You're listening to Live from the Back Room on 1061 Flip FM, live from the virtual back room this morning. We are talking with Trevor Martin from the great state of Kentucky. Trevor, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So, Trevor, you are currently living in Nashville. Got some singles out on your website. Trevor, wait, don't tell me I have it. It's hard to multiple computers right in front of me. What is your website?
It is www.trevormartinmusic.com. Yeah, you can check me out there. Instagram is just at Trevor Martin Music. TikTok also at Trevor Martin Music. So it's pretty easy. Just the Trevor Martin Music, and you should be good.
That's handy. It would be helpful if I would have remembered that this morning. But
all right, okay.
So, Trevor, tell us, how'd you get started in this? Tell us about you as a musician.
Yeah, I've always loved music, I think from an early age. And it's kind of funny, I've actually been listening to You've Got a Friend in Me in the Toy Story soundtrack lately. I don't know why. I do know why. I played it at a gig the other night for a couple kids, and their dad threw in $100 bill and was like, man, that just made their night. So I was like, you know what? I love You Got a Friend in Me again. But I say all that to say that, yeah, I guess I started from an early age just doing impersonations and singing at church as well. But those are kind of my early memories, was Lion King, Tarzan, Toy Story. And then actually music was at church. My dad was a worship leader in Kentucky and would have me sing a lot for the congregation. And then it kind of turned into, I sang at 8 years old. I sang for a show called Motown Madness. And that was the first time I sang for over 1,000 people and got a standing ovation. I sang I Want You Back by the Jackson 5, and that was with the local orchestra. So got a standing ovation, and that was kind of the start of my music career.
Impressive. So you mentioned you are from Kentucky. See the flag there behind you.
Great.
When people think Kentucky, they think, and tell me if I'm wrong in this, but most of us out here in West Texas, we hear Kentucky, we think bluegrass, but you're not really a bluegrass musician necessarily.
No, definitely not. I don't have much bluegrass influence, I don't think either, which is funny. But yeah, the bluegrass state, of course. I have a respect for that music for sure, and I've heard a lot of it growing up with banjo and fiddle and mandolin, those kind of instruments. Those people are absolutely talented. But yeah, not much bluegrass influence in my music. Hopefully, I try to have a Southern guy authenticity in my music, but not sure if the bluegrass can be heard much.
So let's talk about that Southern guy authenticity.
Yeah.
There is definitely a I hate to use the word stereotype, but there is very much a mindset, a mindfulness about being from certain parts of the country. And for you, what defines that for you as being Southern?
I think there's a song called Southern State of Mind by Darius Rucker, if there's any Darius Rucker fans out there. And, he says it kind of well. He says, I'm just walking around telling everybody hi, holding the door, drinking sweet tea. I think being Southern usually in people's brains means that you're a good person and you're a friendly person. I think, you guys are, so that's the South, but some Northern people have the stereotype of, let me just do my thing. And it might come across to us as maybe unfriendly, and it doesn't mean that they are unfriendly. But I think Southern usually has the connotations of just being really friendly and talking to random strangers and just telling everybody hi. So I love being friendly, and sometimes, my girlfriend gets a little irritated when I'm chatting it up with a waiter or a waitress, and she's like, what are you doing? But it's just, I don't know. I think that's the Southern part of me.
Very cool. Well, you are currently promoting your songs Just Like That and Wife You Up. Tell us about, I guess, first of all, Just Like That.
Yeah. So just like that is one that it's just a feel good song to me. And I started writing it, and I had a writing session with Gabe Berdulis, um, I guess almost a year ago now. And I just had this idea in my head, I want you just like that. I was just thinking about life and how I want someone to accept me just like that, just like you see me. And I want to accept someone just like they are. So I kind of sat down at the piano, and right before I went over to his house to write, I kind of put it down on piano, and I was like, all right, yeah, that feels really good. So went over there and wrote that one. But it's just really, like I said, accepting someone for exactly how they are, and through highs and lows, you want someone equally, if not sometimes even more on a bad day. You want someone like that, where you just get every part of them. So I think that's the story behind just like that. Obviously inspired by my beautiful girlfriend Emily. So yeah, that's what that one's about.
I know you always want to look your best for me, 'cause you got your hair done up and you're wearing those skin-tight jeans. You don't even gotta wear a smile to impress, and I don't need no fancy dress. I just want the girl who's underneath. 'Cause I want you just like that, made up or all laid back. I'll take you in my arms anywhere you are, wherever you're at. I want your highs and lows, wanna make sure you know I'll never ask you to change, and that's a fact. Oh, 'cause I want you just like that. I want you just like that. Not every day is gonna be the greatest day. We're gonna have our ups and downs, and you might push me away. But you know I'm gonna kiss you at the end of the night. We'll stay up late till we get things right. I'll always be right here for you, and say I want you just like that, made up or all laid back. I'll take you in my arms anywhere you are, wherever you're at. I want your highs and lows, wanna make sure you know I'll never ask you to change, and that's a fact. Whoa, 'cause I want you just like that. I want you just like that, baby. I want the good, the bad, baby, I want everything just the way you are, so don't you ever change. 'Cause I want you just like that. I want you just like that. I want you just like that, made up or all laid back. I'll take you in my arms anywhere you are, wherever you're at. I want your highs and lows, wanna make sure you know I'll never ask you to change, and that's a fact. Oh, you know I'll never ask you to change, and that's a fact. 'Cause I want you just like that. I want you just like that, baby. I want you just like that. Yeah.
You mentioned that you kind of played it on piano, so you play guitar and piano. Kind of tell us about your training at those, and what
Yeah.
other instruments you might play.
Those are the two main instruments for me. I went to Belmont University here in Nashville, and piano classes were required. Guitar classes were not, but I did take some private guitar lessons, and my playing really went through the roof at Belmont and allowed me to open up a lot more and understand more chords and understand what I was doing. But I started piano probably around 10 or 11 back home in Kentucky, and obviously classical music. Had a great teacher who was phenomenal, and then kind of started teaching myself guitar in middle school. Had a couple lessons here and there, but never like a long instruction or anything. But went on YouTube, learned "I'm Yours," "Just the Way You Are," "I Won't Give Up," a lot of Jason Mraz songs. Yeah, so I kind of self-taught on guitar, and then also when I was at Belmont, got to dive into that a lot more.
So you grew up Bowling Green area. You went to Belmont specifically for kind of their music program.
Yeah.
Those of us who are, for those who are not familiar, I guess, kind of take us through what, when you hear that you're going to school for music, you think I'm learning to play the trumpet, or I'm learning to be a choral conductor, but
Yeah.
the university setting that you went through is very different based on its location and kind of the program itself.
Yeah, so there's commercial programs. Commercial voice was what my major was, and by commercial it just means not classical, essentially. So we were out of the classical group for a while. I took a couple classical lessons, like just to for breathing and technique and things like that. But yeah, Belmont really is a cool spot. It's right off Music Row here in Nashville, right? Really, I mean, you can throw a rock to Music Row, which is really, you can't do that with any other university in the world. But it's a great spot, and you really are paying and going to Belmont for the connections that you make just as much as you're going to improve your technique or learn how to this or that. So I've met a lot of great friends that I still work with now, and people who are the future of the music industry that went to Belmont. Like, for example, Tyler Hubbard and BK, they met at Belmont. And then people like Josh Turner went to Belmont, Brad Paisley. So it has a really good history of good country musicians. So that's really cool. Plus everybody who's on tour right now, there's probably at least one guy in every band that went to Belmont. So that's a cool thing too, the more behind the scenes guys.
So a lot of musicians will start out, they will, either graduate high school and just move to towns like Austin or Nashville or Asheville, North Carolina, or somewhere where there is a music scene. You had the chance to go to college there, and now you've been there for a number of years. What is it like to be an artist in Nashville?
There's a lot of us here in Nashville that are pursuing the same thing, and they all want the same thing, and that's for listeners to put their ears on our songs and put our songs on their playlists and repeatedly listen to those. So it's tough, but it's also fun because there's a lot of people who are really ambitious. I've got a lot of really good friends who are killing it and are on the steep incline. I feel like I'm still working my way to get to the steep, but I feel like I'm at least on the mountain a little bit, which is cool. But we're all in different journeys. We're all in different phases of our career, but it really is just a creative spot. And, I've got to write later on this afternoon with some people that I enjoy writing with, and just finding different creativity groups has been great. So I love Nashville. Plus, the food is fantastic. Hot chicken, which is a new thing, is also awesome. And you can go see a show almost any night of the week. So yeah, I really I love Nashville.
Very cool. Well, let's go back to talk about your one of your other songs that you have currently out right now.
Yeah.
Wife You Up.
Yeah.
That's an interesting name for a song.
Yeah. So Wife You Up is a cool one. I don't know if you ever heard the song Singles You Up by Jordan Davis. That one, I think, was #1 and had a lot of radio play. But a lot of people say, you know, the thing about music and having a good song is like you want something that's a phrase that people use a lot. And one of the phrases that me and my co-writer had been talking about, and we both had it in our hook books, in our idea list, was, oh yeah, you better wife her up. And we're like, yeah, wife her up, wife her up, wife you up. Let's talk to the girl and say, wife you up. So that's a phrase that I feel like a lot of, especially Southern people, are saying right now. So I was like, this is great. And a lot of Southern people are getting married. I play at a wedding just about every single weekend. So why not write a song that's geared toward weddings and love and proposals, and people can use it in their TikToks, or they can use it in their wedding videos or something like that. So it really is a sweet song, and just saying how a girl is so awesome that I better wife you up, because if I don't, like, I'm gonna lose you. So that's really what this song's about.
Woke up early on a Sunday, made us French toast and some lattes. Then we drove to church and you sat with my mom. And even though you're from Kentucky, you throw on my old Saints jersey and you cheer when I cheer, but you don't know what's going on. It's so obvious that you're the one for me. So I know I better wife you up, say I love you for the rest of my life. Yeah, I know that when things get tough, you're the only one I want by my side. I'd be crazy not to buy a ring, ask your dad, get on one knee. There ain't no need to wait, 'cause you're the one. So I know I better wife you up. Best friends from college had a baby, and when you held her, girl, it made me hope that one day ours would have your big brown eyes. I pour my heart into these songs, but when the road just seems too long, you tell me keep going, you'll be at every show and you'll be singing every line. So I know I better wife you up, say I love you for the rest of my life. Yeah, I know that when things get tough, you're the only one I want by my side. I'd be crazy not to buy a ring, ask your dad, get on one knee. There ain't no need to wait, 'cause you're the one. So I know I better wife you up. I know I better wife you up. It all right now, the picture perfect life. I gotta shake the nerves somehow, 'cause tonight's the perfect night to wife you up. Yeah, I know I better wife you up. Yeah, I know I better wife you up, say I love you for the rest of my life. Yeah, I know that when things get tough, you're the only one I want by my side. I'd be crazy not to buy a ring, ask your dad, get on one knee. There ain't no need to wait, 'cause you're the one. No, there ain't no need to wait, 'cause you're the one. So I know I better wife you up. I better wife you up. Oh yeah.
So Trevor Martin, that was Wife You Up. You're listening to Live from the Back Room on 106.1 Flip FM. Trevor, tell us, when you look at your music history yourself, you obviously, you grew up listening to music, you grew up playing music.
Yeah.
Who would you say your biggest influences are in kind of shaping your sound now?
Yeah. Well, on my wall, you can probably see this guy. That's a John Mayer album right there.
Very cool.
So John Mayer is number one. And actually, I'm looking right over my desk is John Mayer staring at me. So John Mayer is number one. And then also Dan and Shay. There's some guys who recently in the last year and a half, 2 years have really inspired me with the music they're putting out. And actually I posted a TikTok yesterday and they commented on it and liked it. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Dan and Shay heard me sing. So those are two guys that I guess three guys that I really, really enjoy their stuff and have kind of molded me and inspired me the most.
So you're in your 20s. So this question always kind of can confuse people, but you still, I guess, let's see, 12 years ago, you were probably still listening to CDs. What was your very first CD that you ever purchased?
Ooh. CD that I ever purchased. I'm not sure about purchased, but I can tell you CDs that I listened to. And one of them was the Beatles, the red one that's got the yellow one on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the red. So I listen to all those songs a lot. I love listening to Michael Jackson CDs.
Mm-hmm.
And some MJ CDs. And
what's your favorite Michael Jackson CD then?
Ooh,
personally, Off the Wall, one of the, it's a disco album, but it's a great album.
Off the Wall is great. I'm gonna kind of be cheap here and just say Thriller. I love some of those songs off Thriller. Had it hanging in my room, a vinyl hanging in my room for a while, but yeah, I think anything Michael Jackson is good. There's really good stuff on every single one of his albums, but I love Jackson 5 stuff too. So that was probably some of those early I Want You Back, ABC, I'll Be There. Those are some of my favorite Michael Jacksons.
Very cool. Other oddball question that I ask that always gets a weird response sometimes is, what is something, when you're talking with people, when you're talking with radio stations or talking with fans, what's a question that no one has ever asked you about that you just love talking about?
Something I guess a little different. It's outside of the music realm is just football. I'm a huge New Orleans Saints football fan, and I've got a signed Drew Brees helmet right there, if you can see it. But yeah, I love football and I geek out over it. I'm a statistics guy, and even though I'm from Kentucky, and even like in my song "Wife You Up," it says, even though you're from Kentucky, you throw on my old Saints jersey and you cheer when I cheer, but you don't know what's going on. So I make a lot of like subtle football references and, Saints jersey type of things. So yeah, I geek out over football. And actually just this morning, I got all my guys ready for fantasy football this year. So we're good to go. And all 10 for 10 are ready to go.
So we don't want to, put out your draft strategy out there for the whole world to see, but tell us who, when you're looking to get ready to draft somebody, who are you going to go for first?
Okay. In years past, I've always gone with my heart and not my head. And it always comes back to bite me, except for 1 year. 1 year I drafted almost every single Saints player and I won the whole thing. So that worked, but it was 2011 when Drew Brees set virtually every single NFL record. I digress, but yeah, as far as drafting, just draft somebody who you really feel like is going to be on the field every week, because everybody gets burned by injuries every year and you can't predict them, but you can look at like, Derrick Henry, he doesn't miss games, knock on wood. but so draft Derrick Henry and maybe Christian McCaffrey has 5 more points than him a game, but at least for sure you're getting those points. So that would be my draft strategy. Draft the best ability is availability.
I'll make sure to take that down when get my league ready in a couple days.
Yes.
So, Trevor Martin, we're talking to you. It is the kind of middle of August right now. What's your fall looking like? I mean, are you going to be back in the studio, back playing concerts?
Yeah.
Tell us where you'll be.
It's been a great summer for me. I think it's tough as an artist to juggle all the things that we got going on, because I'm a writer as well. So I feel like I'm either writing a lot, recording a lot, or, having really marketing well, or touring and playing a lot of shows, or there's also the making money thing. And I feel like I'm kind of in that phase right now of just trying to build up some stuff so I can invest in all those other things that are so important. So I've been playing a lot of weddings right now and private parties and things like that. So hopefully I'll be able to pour all that back into recording costs, marketing costs, and all those types of things. So I feel like I'm really close to just letting go and letting loose. And it really has been a blessing after last year of not being able to build up really any type of revenue. So it's not why I do what I do, because I love performing for people at weddings. And, it's just I'm honored to be part of special occasions, and especially private parties too. That's just so much fun and bringing joy to those people. But, just trying to build up some stuff. I've got, I think, 6 or 7 weddings in the next 2 months. So it's just, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it also is very much high pressure when you're walking a beautiful bride down the aisle to a song that you're singing. So some pressure there, because you want it to be perfect for each and every beautiful bride.
You mentioned, and different artists have different responses to this, but you mentioned last year, how did you, as an artist and as someone who needs that live performance and that FaceTime, how did you get through 2020?
So luckily my rent was up in like April. So I here in Nashville. So I moved back home for a few months and did not have to worry about the hustle and bustle of Nashville. I could kind of relax and just spend some time in Bowling Green, which was nice. A lot of people either wrote or did a lot of TikTok. For me, I kind of just rested, but I also put out some music. That's when I started thinking, you know what, I'm going to put out some music. And I put out Go To back in May of 2020. And then it was followed in September by another single called Calling It Friends. And then January was Just Like That of this year. And Wife You Up came out in March of this year. So I tried to space them out a little bit, but also keep them kind of close. Right now, I don't really have many plans. I don't have one ready to go or anything, but that's hopefully on the horizon. But yeah, just getting through 2020 and putting out some new stuff instead of, everybody had their different thing. And I also started writing for a personalized songwriting company and produce everything from home. So that's been a really good way to still impact people in a music sense and have a revenue source. So that's been great. It's called Songfinch, by the way. If you want me to write you a song, just go to songfinch.com and can write you a song.
Interesting. So
yeah.
What's that process like? Someone just says, I need a song for the birth of my child, or I need a song for my wife and I's whateverth anniversary.
Yeah. So most of it is the anniversary and wedding. Also Valentine's Day, I think I wrote 43 songs in the month of February.
Wow.
For Valentine's Day, plus probably some in January. So, that's a more than a song a day. But also, wedding anniversaries are huge. Weddings are huge for this. And it's like, oh, I love Ryan's, I love his beard and how he's on the radio, and his black glasses really are, get me. Or just
things my wife would not say, but I like it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, just very personalized details that I take and throw into a song. And, every song is very different, and they all have the same sentiment. And it's like, hey, I love you so much that I'm getting this song for you. So
that is fascinating.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Where can we go to find this?
Yeah. So this is Songfinch, SONGFINCH.com. And you can actually request me if you're interested in having a song, if you're interested in having me write a song for you. So yeah, they're a lot of fun. It's just been, I think The Weeknd just invested a really good, a lot into the company. So they are growing. They have many songwriters of all genres. So yeah, definitely go check out Songfinch.
Very cool. Trevor Martin, we have certainly appreciated having you with us today. Anything you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, just follow me on socials to keep up with what I got going on. I'm some songs come out soon, and always trying to push out some new content. But I'm on TikTok at Trevor Martin Music. I'm on Instagram at Trevor Martin Music, Facebook, Trevor Martin Music, and then of course on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube. Just look up Trevor Martin, and all my songs should pop up there. So just give me a follow, and I really appreciate you guys.
All right. This has been Live from the Back Room on 106.1 Flip FM.